I love watching Bollywood movies, but I don't want to do a Bollywood movie unless the movie demands me and I'm totally convinced that I can excel in that character. Or else there are amazing actors, they'll do it in perfection.
Totally.
If something totally amazing comes up, I'll definitely take it up.
For all film related interviews, reviews, and content, please like and subscribe to Puja Talwar. You can also follow me on Twitter and on Instagram. Let me tell you, I have a connection with the South, especially Kochi, because my dad was posted in Kochi and my brother was in Kochi. So, yeah,
Okay.
I have, but I can't speak Malayalam except for Pala Madaram.
Okay. Okay.
So, firstly, whenever I look at you, I think of, guess what? Minnal Murali. Do you get a lot of that?
I do get a lot of that. Like probably Minnal Murali is the movie of mine which a lot of people has watched. Maybe it's my first movie for many of them.
Yeah, which is true. It was your first movie for me too. And what a spectacular film. So now I imagine you in a superhero avatar, which is good in a way.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
And absolutely opposite of Minnal Murali, we have you playing one of us, a journalist. So what was that like for you?
It was a challenging character for me. I'm not used to this kind of performances, but because of that itself, I tried and rehearsed a lot. I had to take a small training to improve my diction and body language, and I had to play left-hander in this movie. I had to look different in two different like time zones of the movie. Like when I'm a struggling or partially successful journalist, I have to be this calm, frustrated. His frustration is seen on his face, but not he is not letting it out. But we can see the small frustration on his face. So I had to be very controlled in that particular area. And when I transformed into this media head, I'm this restless, like egoistic, narcissistic. That transformation, playing two different kind of two different variations of the same character. It was challenging, but that's what gives us satisfaction. I got enough time to prepare. Like I got 3-4 months. They gave me Ashiket and the director and Uniyat and the writer. Both of them gave me a lot of inputs, a lot of minor details of the character, so that I could get into the skin of the character much easily. And I kept on practicing by reading out Malayalam books loudly, so that I can prepare my vocal code for all these shouting and screaming stuff. Yeah.
Because news these days is a lot about shouting, On the other hand, you have to shout to be heard. On the other hand, some channel says you don't need to shout to be heard. But the common thing about all the news these days is what the tagline of your movie is. Allegations first, explanations later. And I heard you say, and I so agree with that, the only thing that makes me want to read something is when they have a question mark. That's a question mark when you read this. Personally, as someone who is in the news himself for his work, which is like the weirdest thing you've read about yourself, or have you not?
No, I've been in the news for various reasons, but yeah, a lot of weird things happen. But I don't want to keep it in my mind, and I don't want it to disturb me. Like I don't want my attention to be like shifted from whatever I'm doing currently. So I don't keep it in my mind. I know, especially when I did this movie, I could think as someone from this industry. I mean, like a journalist, and I could understand a lot of pressure and a lot of competition happening in this industry, which makes them do a lot of stuff. Like that's why, because of this competition, earlier when there were just one news channel or there were just one time slot for news in one channel which we had, Doordarshan. Then we were told that we can blindly believe whatever we are seeing in the news channels. I mean, in the news. That's how we are used to. That's what our parents told us. Okay, you don't have to blindly believe or blindly uh, act according to the movies. I mean, whatever we watch. I agree that movies are pretty much very influential, like media channels. But movies, we have this liberty to use fiction. We will tell a lie and we'll make people believe it. That's how we make it in the movies, because we are it's fiction. But news channels cannot take that liberty of adding fiction into news, because we are blindly believing in news channels, and we all consider news channels are the fourth estate of democracy. So the responsibility the journalists have, is greater than what anyone else in the society has.
I agree with that. But sadly, these days is about sensationalism, clickbait, and those question marks. I totally agree with what you were saying. It's fiction. I think we see reality on screens. I mean, so much. I think,
Even I read it somewhere. Even the history, what we learn is a set of convenient lies.
Totally agree with that. Sometimes we also want to whitewash and stonewash and blackwash and brownwash everything just to say it did not exist. That's what you are trying to say, yeah. But the interesting thing about you is, which you've also admitted, is the unpredictability of you as an actor. And also one thing, a quote of yours that really impressed me was for someone in movies like Virus and Lucifer, who did a supporting character while he was the lead in other films. You don't want people to dictate how you work. Does that still apply? Because now I know you're flooded with roles to be just.
Yes, I might do small roles, villain characters. I might do supporting characters. See, it's all about my satisfaction when I'm working. Like, yes, I'm working to entertain people. When they are entertained, I'm getting this kind of satisfaction. But I don't want to be stereotyped. I don't want to be predictable. I don't want to do similar kind of characters again and again. I'll get bored of it. Then how can I expect people who watch my movies to be entertained? So I want to entertain them. For that, I have to be unpredictable. So I have tried this from the beginning of my career. When I got a break as a lead character, I kept on doing small characters and villain characters, whichever I thought are relevant in the movie, and whichever movies I thought was relevant or were good. And still, I got a lot of lead character offers again and again. So I didn't lose anything by doing small characters or supporting characters. So I think my strategy is not very bad. And I used to have this unpredictability back when I was not very successful. But success, I think it's a trap. Once you're successful, you're forced to do certain kind of characters, and so that the producers who spend a lot of money on us, when I'm being the face of a cinema, I have a lot of responsibilities more than my satisfaction. So at some point, the movies I did maybe have made me predictable to an extent. But I wanted to break it. I took a break. I traveled. I spent a lot of time with my family. And then this lockdown came. And after lockdown, I decided, okay, why should I do movies which I don't want to do? I'm doing movies and characters which I want to do. And I think that's what success means. When you are allowed to, or when you can do whatever characters or whatever movies which you wanted to do, I think that's success. Not making a lot of money, not fame. Yeah.
Totally get that. And you do realize in the lockdown when Minnal Murali came.
Yes.
130, streamed across 99 and 130 countries. It was number one on the charts. Even people who were not used to watching Malayalam films, I had friends calling me saying, we are watching that because, it was nice to see our own Desi homegrown hero. Do you think that has also, and with success also comes a lot of expectations. Expectations lead to a lot of anxieties. So how is it working out for you these days?
Yes, expectations are my responsibilities now. I understand that, but still, I don't want to do movies which you expect. Again, I will be predictable then. I don't want to be predictable, so maybe I'll. But the minimum quality that you expect, we need to cater it. That we are aware of it. I'm aware of it, and I'll be like I'm constantly competing with myself. Whatever character I do, I'm competing with myself, and whichever movie comes out, I want my performance in that movie to be named as Tovino Thomas's best performance till date. So that's what I'm trying in every movie of mine. But yeah, like I'm not forcing anyone to like my performance, but I'm trying. If that works out, I'll be satisfied and happy.
I don't think you need to try. They're already liking it, and I'm not kidding you. December, the only person whose name I heard from people was Tovino Thomas, and happy was Minnal. Literally, happy was Minnal Murali. So the soundtrack was playing everywhere. It was just like Tovino Thomas and Minnal Murali. And the thing is also in the lockdown. I mean, I've been covering cinema for years. I grew, as I told you, grew up in the South. So I was versed with Malayalam cinema. And we know it's not South regional cinema, it's Indian cinema. But for people, suddenly, the lockdown, their introduction to Malayalam cinema came through watching, say, the movies that were on the OTT platforms. Now going forward, what is the secret formula that Malayalam cinema has that the other cinemas have not been able to crack?
I don't know. Maybe our audience are very critical, so we are trained to focus more on the content and the quality of the movies. So we are constantly trained in such a way by the audiences. So we all as a team will try to meet that expectations in quality and content. Maybe that's what keeps us top in the game. As you said, I'm not stating it.
No, top of the game. And also the stories have been very ahead of their times. The stories are also very taut and realistic. So I do understand, often Bollywood looks at the South remakes.
It's not just this generation, like
previous also,
it's like that, yeah. So now we are reaping the benefits of whatever our seniors, our pioneers did.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they showed us this way, how to do movies, and we are just following it using our presence of mind and our creativity.
True. And finally, people have now been able to jump that little 1 meter thing that they have of the subtitles and making an effort, which is also phenomenal. Also another thing is they say now Malayalam actors don't promote their movies much. You've seen Bollywood now, the 20, 40 promotions happening one. So now,
actually, we do. In Kerala, we do. But with Minnal Murali, I think I realized that a lot of people outside Kerala also want to watch Malayalam movies. There are a lot of people who follow and love Malayalam movies. So again, it's my responsibility to promote my movie and not to brag about the movie, but instead I want everyone who may watch this movie to know that this movie is releasing on this particular date. So I try my best, even if I'm shooting, even if I would say a very hectic schedule, I try and make myself free at least for a day, and that's how I came for Naradan Promotions in Mumbai. We did one premiere, and I gave some 15 to 17 interviews in a go.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. But now, honestly, tell me what works for you. Is it the director, is it the script, or the length of your role? I know the length of the role doesn't matter.
Well, not length of the role. It's the director, the script, it's the script writer, and it's the team. Basically, it's a team. If I trust the team, I try and push my limits to whatever extent they want me to do. And yeah, that's it. It's a team. Cinema is a collective art.
Absolutely.
And that's why I don't want to do one-man shows, because I personally don't enjoy such movies nowadays. Because when I work in this industry, I believe it's a collective art, and there should be a lot of characters. There should be a lot of amazing actors to share the screen space with. which is also very, for me, it's very informative. I learn a lot of things from them. And I want to work with amazing directors and scriptwriters and technicians. So basically, it's a team. And if I'm performing well in the movie, I'll give the credit to my team.
Absolutely. And also now, since India is also, I'm so glad it's everybody's saying Indian cinema. Who would you want to collaborate with if we could get your wish list on screen together? Favorite on
everyone possible. Like, I'm too greedy. Like India might be the only country which has this much film industries, and I personally adore a lot of filmmakers and a lot of actors in all the industries. So yeah, I would love to work with everyone in Indian cinema, but it's not going to happen. But now I'm
Minnal Murali.
Now I'm waiting for good characters, good movies to happen. Yeah.
Wow, awesome. Anyways, I know you have another hectic day of shooting ahead and your work, so I won't keep you away. So quickly, what is the most spontaneous game? I'm going to play a game with you. Spontaneous thing you're
Most spontaneous thing I've ever done. Resigning my job. I resigned my job. I've been talking to my father and my brother about this, and my brother, my sister, everyone, they were very supportive. My sister, I remember she telling me, if you don't love what you're doing, quit right now, because if I'm not happy working somewhere, how can I keep on working there for my whole lifetime? I didn't want to do that, and I didn't want to accept failure without trying. But my father was concerned about my future, because I got placed in a leading multinational company. I worked there for a year, and suddenly I came to my father. I told I want to resign my job, and I'm not someone who has excelled in arts or acting or anything when I was in school or college. So it was this desire which I had. Even when I came into movies, I was not sure if I know how to act, but I wanted to. So I kept on trying to convince my father for a while, and at last he said, "Okay, do whatever you want. I don't want to advise you anymore." Instantly, I clicked that button, because I was waiting for that. Like, even if he's not happy with that, I wanted those words to come out of his mouth. So when I said that, I was waiting. I was waiting the cursor on that resign button. I clicked it.
Awesome. You must be very happy now. But how come engineers make such good actors? I want to know.
So in my personal experience, in my engineering college, I acted as if I'm learning a lot of things, and I acted as if I'm listening to the faculties. I acted as if I'm like I was a class representative then, so I had to act, and when I got into software industry, again I knew that I won't excel the because I didn't know much about whatever I'm doing. So I had to act as if I'm working every day for any year. I'll sit in front of the computer and I'll act as if I'm working. Whenever my project manager or whenever my team lead comes, I'll be looking into the code. I'll be checking the code. Whenever they comes and looks at me, I'll be looking at this code and doing something. But I never understood any code.
Well, awesome. And
so maybe that was my acting school.
Totally, I agree. So, I mean, that's why I think I always say all actors should go to engineering school to become successful. Whether it's you, whether it's Fahad Fazil, all are engineers, yeah.
In my case, my brother, after his higher secondary, he went and joined an engineering college. He took electronics and communication as his major. I did the same, so that I won't be compared and I won't be blamed for anything. I did the same. We are just 1 year. He's just 1 year elder to me, and he's a very good friend of mine. So I didn't want anyone to compare me and my brother. So I did whatever he did. So he joined in a college. I tried joining in that college, but I didn't get admission though. So I went and joined in another college in Coimbatore. I joined the same branch, electronics and communication. After college, he went and joined the software company. I did the same. But at some point, I wanted to stop doing whatever he was doing. And I resigned my job, and he was very supportive.
And,
yeah.
I'm so glad you resigned your job. Otherwise, we wouldn't have got Tovino Thomas, the actor, and Minnal Murali. So lastly, one superpower you wish you had. So Minnal Murali can do anything.
Fly. Everyone wants to fly. I wanted to fly since my childhood, but never happened.
An actor also, who knows tomorrow, Tovino Thomas has become a pilot or flying as God willing.
I don't want to fly a plane.
You just
instead, yes, I just want to fly and float. And if I'm not comfortable somewhere, I just want to fly away to my comfort space.
If you devise it, please let me also know. And now, what can we expect from you? Next.
Like what?
What can we expect? What is happening? What exciting things? Has Bollywood also started calling you and quoting you? I'm sure
there are amazing actors and technicians in Bollywood, and most of them are doing a great job.
Yeah.
I don't even like people comparing Bollywood and Hollywood. They are two different industries, Absolutely. And there will be regional differences. So definitely, different kind of movies happen in different parts of the world. So comparing one industry to another, I feel comparison is bad. Yeah. So
that's part of the news, no? News. Otherwise, how will we make news?
And Bollywood, yes, I love watching Bollywood movies, but I don't want to do a Bollywood movie unless the movie demands me and I'm totally convinced that I can excel in that character. Or else there are amazing actors, they'll do it in perfection.
Totally.
If something totally amazing comes up, I'll definitely take it up.
Thank you so much. What can we expect? What's coming next from you? What can we expect?
So I finished shooting for this movie named Vashi. Vashi is along with Keerthi Suresh. So it's directed by debutant Vishnu Raghav. So that might be my next release. And then I have finished shooting for another movie, which is directed by Vinit Kumar, a Malayalam director. He's also an actor. So in that, me, Basil, Darshana, Arjun Lal, Arjun Radhakrishnan, Sanchana Natarajan. So a few of us have acted in that. It is being produced by Samir Tahir and Shaiju Khalid, two cinematographers in Malayalam. And Shaiju Khalid, he did the cinematography of the movie. And it's a very different character in my career. It's a very different movie. I'm looking forward to it. And right now I'm shooting for Tallumala, directed by Khalid Rahman and written by Mohsen Parhari. And Jimshi Khalid is doing the cinematography. Jimshi Khalid, Shaiju Khalid and Rahman Khalid, they're brothers.
Wow.
So I have been working with that family for a while now.
So wow, interesting. So you are the family guy, the family man.
So again, after Tallumala, I'll be joining Neela Velicham. Again, I'm joining hands with director Ashik Abu. And the script, it's basically based on Vaikam Muhammad Bashir's book, Neela Velicham.
Wow.
And yeah, that will be my next. I'll start shooting for that next.
Awesome. Thank you so much for giving me your time and all the very best.
My pleasure.
As I said, whatever you do, Minnal Murali and Tovino Thomas are the same.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Okay. Thank you very much for giving me your time. Thank you very much.
Bye.
If you've liked this interview, please like, share and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram.